So today we're going to be talking about music. In elementary school and beginning music, you learned all the notes, right? In case you forgot, it's C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Now we're on the same page, okay? And so in a musical, when you get handed the libretto, which is the book with all the music in it, right? Sometimes it's really hard to follow along in it because we aren't necessarily up to that level of reading and music. And so today, we're going to try and break all of those parts down for you to help you read the music better for the next time you're going to be in a musical. So let's get to it. Okay, so first up on our list is the Great Sopranos. Raise your hand if you are one. Ooh, I actually am one. I'm not just raising it for comedic effect. Woohoo! So what a soprano is, they usually have the highest part in the music, and they are composed of primarily females, but there are males in it who usually their voice has not changed yet, and so they are still able to sing all of those high notes that lovely sopranos get to hit. And they actually usually get the melody, and for those of you who aren't necessarily familiar with what the melody is, when you're singing a song like Happy Birthday, so the Happy Birthday to you, Happy Birthday to you, that what I just sang is considered the melody. So it is the line that you just sing and you hear on the radio is the best way I can describe the melody. And so for our second one, we have great altos. Alto is a fabulous part for anyone. They really make the piece have a little bit more meaning. Of course, singing melody is great and everything, but altos really get to make it beautiful and bring out all of these chords. So altos typically do not get the melody, so they get a different note that they sing instead of, so if you're singing Happy Birthday, they wouldn't sing what I sang before. They would sing a different note that is harmonizing with the melody. And that is pretty much the same for every other part besides a soprano. And so men and women can be an alto. It is predominantly women, but men can also be an alto.
Hi guys, so Sydney talked to you about sopranos and altos. I'm going to talk to you about tenors and basses. Now, Sydney talked to you about sopranos and altos because most of the time, girls and women are the ones that are singing those voice parts. Sometimes young boys that are like haven't gone through puberty yet and their voices hasn't changed, sometimes they sing soprano and alto, but I'm going to talk to you about after their voices have changed, kind of like myself, and our voice parts for men are between tenors and basses. So tenors is the third highest note in the group. So like there's sopranos, altos, and then we have our tenors. They are the male singers that sing the higher notes, all right? And then we have the basses, and the basses sing the lowest part in the ensemble piece, or they are the singers that sing the really low notes. So tenors are the higher male singers, and the basses are the lower singing male singers. So, just to review, we have sopranos, altos, tenors, basses. Now, there are some little middle grounds in there for some singers. So there might be a female singer that sings soprano, but is a lower singing soprano. So they don't sing the notes that are super duper high. They would sing what the part that I would call mezzo soprano. So it's kind of in between. So it'd be like soprano, alto, and the mezzo soprano is in between soprano and alto. And then it also applies for our men. So our tenors that maybe don't sing the highest notes, and the basses that don't necessarily sing the lowest notes, they would be called a baritone or a barytenor. So there's like a little in between through there. But for our next bit with Sydney, when she shows you a piece of sheet music, we are going to be talking about specifically sopranos, altos, tenors, basses.
Okay, so now let's take a look at some vocal music. So this sheet of music right here is just a little snapshot from a musical, but I'm going to hold it up for you guys to hopefully see. As you can see right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 lines. So we have, well, in this one we have a small group, but usually it is the sopranos. This is usually altos, tenors, then basses. And so if we actually look up here, it only has 2 lines. And so that's because the sopranos will take the highest note there is, and the altos will take the second highest on this line. And so sopranos and altos will look at the same line. And then for this one, tenors and basses will look at the same line as well. And so tenors will take the top note and basses will take the bottom note. And that is traditionally how it usually is. But we're going to focus our efforts not necessarily on the 2 line. I do want you guys to be familiar with that because obviously, as we can see here, you do need to know how to read that as well, but most of the time it will be the 4 lines. And so, let's say I am an alto. So I am going to want to look at the second line. And so I'm going to continue looking at this line. So I'm going to say sus, 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 sus. I don't know the notes right now, but it's going to go sus, 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 do 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 doos, boop. Then we're going to flip over our page because we have extended the amount of this page. We're at the end because here's basses, tenors, altos, sopranos. And so we get to the bottom, then we get to flip over our page and look for the second one again. And so then we'll follow this as we're singing. And so sometimes it can be kind of confusing, especially on a page turn, when you're not necessarily super familiar with sheet music. And so we need to make sure that we stay in our lane and we just sing what we have in our lane. And so we don't want to sing sus, sus, and we try and sing these notes down here because they aren't matching up with what we're singing, but when they sing them, while we're singing our line, they stay in their lane and we stay in our lane, some beautiful music happens. So little trick that music likes to play on us sometimes is we will be reading our line, reading all day long. We flip the page and we want to start at the top. But like I said, I'm an alto, so I need to remember to look at the second line and read that. Then when I go to the next one, I need to find the second line and read that. And so it's all about staying in your lane or your line if you would have it. And so we don't want to cross lines. We don't want to cross lanes. That's how bad things happen, okay? But we want to make some beautiful music together. And so if you're soprano, you stay in that first lane. If you're an alto, you stay in the second lane. Tenor, stay in the third lane. Bass, stay in the fourth lane. And as long as everyone does their part correctly and stays in their lane, beautiful music is being made and the audience it will be music to their ears, for lack of a better term.
Awesome, guys, you did it. You got this. You learned about sopranos, altos, tenors, and basses, and you saw on a physical sheet of music which part you would follow if you were given a specific voice part when working with an ensemble. All right, so when you come in, let's theoretically say next summer's Fendig musical rehearsal, and you are given a script and you have your sheet music and you're opening it out, you should be able to follow along when your music director tells you which part you're singing. Now, just because you know which part that you're singing, it doesn't necessarily mean that you know how to read music just yet. Reading music is very difficult. It takes a lot of time and practice to get used to reading music. So Fendig has a really good chance for you to get your basics and learn a little bit step by step on how to read music. And I would say every music director that we have work for us really takes the time to make sure that you know what you're singing to the best of your possible ability. But when it comes to actually knowing how to read music, here are some recommendations that I have for you so that you can soar vocally and music theory-wise. All right, so if you are at a school that offers a choir or band program, I highly encourage you to participate. If there is an opportunity for you to do both choir and band, I highly recommend that. When you're in choir, you do this type of stuff all the time. Soprano, alto, tenor, bass. Sometimes just with choirs filled with girls. So it's like sopranos and altos and choirs with men, tenors and basses. And through those opportunities, you gradually learn how to read music. And then band, you also get another opportunity to learn how to read music because you were using a completely different instrument. Whether that be trumpet, French horn, trombone, flute, clarinet. As much music theory as you can get, the better you are going to get at knowing how to read sheet music. For performing specifically, I would say the best instrument to learn how to at least read and play basic melody would be learning how to play the piano. Because the piano is the instrument that is played when you work on pieces of music in musical theater in the rehearsal process. So my recommendations for you is to join a choir if possible, join a band if possible, and if you could learn how to play piano and just learn the basics, that puts you in the best place to know how to read music and to be the most successful when it comes to participating in a rehearsal process for a stage musical.
Okay, did you guys know that Fendig is currently offering virtual voice lessons? All you need to do is type into your web browser fendigtheater.org/shop in order to go and secure your voice lessons today. We have some awesome instructors, and if you're wanting to put your new knowledge from this video to use, what a better way to practice than with our own instructors here at Fendig Theater, at the Fendig Theater Experience. So go on over to that shop, secure your voice lessons today, and have a great time, whether that is just singing to sing, singing to prep for a virtual performance, anything. If you don't have any arts outlets at school at the moment, this is a great outlet to have. And we love new students, we love meeting new faces, and most importantly, we love growing in music and theater together as a community. So go ahead and go to, again, fendigtheater.org/shop to secure your voice lessons today.
Well, that about wraps up this week's Fendig Theater Experience weekly episode. A fun assignment that I want to give to you, my friends at home, is to comment below your favorite piece of music ever. Any piece of music. It can be Mozart, it can be a song from your favorite movie or musical, your song from your favorite pop star, it could be a song that you love to sing in the shower, any song. Tell us your favorite and comment down below. Now, I'm sure you've heard a lot about voting and the importance of voting and choosing one over the other. Here at Fendig, we are also going to do a little bit of voting on our Instagram story. So if you are on our Instagram, you will see in our story opportunities to vote for which musical you think is your favorite in the list of 2. And so we highly encourage you to vote for your favorite musical. Make sure to like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And if you want some updates on our future videos and future opportunities with Fendig, subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much, and have an amazing week using your voice.